You guys do?
Bro, we did it as a fucking crazy name for a song. You basically like, yo, your honor, yeah, we killed him, we did it, it was us. You don't need no evidence, it was us. Yeah, go listen to that song. I'm telling you, if they can use fucking songs and lyrics, these niggas is all cooked. They gonna grab the rest of them niggas too. I'm telling you.
Do.
YouTube, what's good, man? It's your boy P&F Keith. We back with another reaction video today. I came across this video, Tramp Lord Ross. If you don't know who he is, he he basically an investigator on YouTube at this point. He be investigating all the murders, making videos about them, like documentaries, all type shit. But they saying it's like a certain song that got Lil Durk. Well, not ain't getting locked up, but he might be cooked if they play this song in the courtroom. So I'm trying to find out what song he talking about. So we about to jump right into it, man. We're gonna react to it, and then at the end, we gonna talk our talk, man.
22 slang affiliates to carry. By now, every fan of drill music is likely familiar with the biggest bombshell news of the year: the indictment of Lil Durk for allegedly hiring his OTF affiliates to carry out the 2022 slaying of.
This nigga in the middle look like fucking Mr. Popo. Hold on.
Hiring his OTF affiliates to carry.
Yo. This nigga look just like Mr. Popo. Hold on, look at him. Tell me he don't look like Mr. Popo. I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, I'm fucking ruling.
Carry out the 2022 slaying of Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Tab, an alleged murder for hire attempting to get back at Quando Rondo for the killing of King Von. The shooting at the hands of his friend Lil Tim that took place 2 years before that in 2020 during an altercation between Von and their respective entourages in front of an Atlanta hookah lounge. The brazenness, or perhaps the sheer stupidity of this alleged murder for hire plot baffles the mind, because not only did the alleged OTF affiliates decide to execute the hit in broad daylight in front of one of the most popular tourist attractions in the entire of Los Angeles, the Beverly Center shopping mall, but they allegedly all.
They shot this nigga in front of a fucking mall. At this point, you asking to go to jail, bro. That's like saying, come lock me up. At this point.
So flew to LA on domestic flights specifically to commit this murder, leaving a paper trail behind them that likely made the feds rub their hands together like Birdman in 2010. But if that wasn't enough, the head honcho himself, Lil Durk, aka Smirkio, aka Smirk, aka Mustafa Abdul Malik, aka apparently Blood, would allegedly message one of his co-conspirators to specifically tell them not to use any credit cards associated with him during this crash-out voyage of the century, only for that person to do that exact thing anyway. But while many fans hope that Durk can beat this case and return home to drop fire music for years to come, he and his OTF comrades might have left one too many clues behind to successfully fight these charges. Before we go any further with the video, I just have a quick message for you. I think that knowing your history, where you come from, and what makes you is so important in understanding who you truly are. Well, thanks to the sponsor of this video, My Heritage, you can now discover your own family history and build out your family tree. All you really need is the names, date of birth, and location of birth for your parents and your grandparents. So check this out. I was actually able to trace back my family tree a whopping 8 generations, and I found some really interesting facts about some of the people in this family tree, particularly my great-great-grandfather Henry. Okay, what was super interesting about him, and there was a vintage picture here that if you can see the resemblance, he's looking a little bit like me, alright? I'm pretty sure this is my great.
For real, that ain't even him. He got me confused. I'm thinking that's part of the fucking video with Lil Durk.
Author. Thank you, My Heritage, for sponsoring the video, and now back to the story. Talking about the music, ever since Durk's indictment, not many people have really gone back to see if he left any clues about the murders for fans to find. A lot of people are familiar with his lyrics on that Babyface Ray song, where he appears to rap lyrics that suggest he gave a green light to this hit, but it turns out that Lil Durk's iceberg of self-incrimination goes much deeper. In fact, I went back and listened to the very first album that he and his friends released, just months after the murder of Lil Tab, and I couldn't believe what I found. Loyal Bros 2 is an OTF group mixtape released on the 16th of December 2022, just 4 months after the murder of Lil Pab, and I'm here to tell you that this project is perhaps one of the most self-incriminating projects in the history of rap music. Not only is this a group album under OTF, the very name of Durk's gang and label of the same name that allegedly carried out the murder for hire plot against Quando and Lil Pab, as referenced in the indictment, but the title of the mixtape, Loyal Bros 2, is a pretty obvious reference to the loyalty that Durk expects from his gang and label brothers. But beyond the title, the project itself is wall-to-wall with incriminating lyrics that not only hint towards Durk's involvement, but track by track paints a vivid picture of exactly how the events unfolded, with Durk and his collaborators making countless references to the crime and its specific details.
He said, you know that we did it. They know that we did it. VVS diamonds all on our necks. You know that we did it. They basically telling us more. We did it at this point.
Tales openly claiming responsibility for the whole thing. On the opening track titled Set It Off, Durk makes an interesting comment, seemingly suggesting that he recruits killers for his business, and recounts conversations with members telling him they don't want to kill people, so Durk instead sets them up with different roles in the business, like running real estate. In other lines, Durk makes ambiguous references to his ops getting caught slipping, and in the hook, he raps about giving his friends guns and asking them to shoot for him. In verse 2, he drops a bar saying one of his ops couldn't read his last DM because he was killed, something that some people have suggested is a reference to the murder of FBG Cash. But this is followed by another ambiguous bar where Durk says that he told his shooters to spin every block until the target is dead, and that somebody was due to be killed next, but he couldn't get to them, with some suggesting that this was in fact...
I'm telling you, once again, if they could use lyrics, he's cooked. GG's.
A reference to King Von's actual killer, Lil Tim, who was arrested in October 2022. The suggestion being that Durk's next murder for hire would have been Tim, but since he was in jail, they couldn't get to him. Then, on the second track, titled Mad Max featuring Future, in a bizarre display, Future seemingly opens his verse with a series of lines that again eerily mirror the exact details of Lil Durk's case, with Future rapping his Lil Bro, presumably Durk, drops bags that gets people killed and has people shot through the windows of their cars, and referencing that people get money put on their heads for messing with Durk. And Future even ends his verse with a jaw-dropping bit of foreshadowing, saying ain't no Rico case gonna stop another body dropping, before asking how many bodies they have. The hook of the song would see Durk and Future likening their shooters running up on people and killing them to be similar to the movie Mad Max. And then in Durk's verse, he would go on an absolute rampage of self-snitching, boldly saying that he told Young Thug everybody that he'd shot, and hinting that he could have been part of that Rico case that Thug caught if the feds were recording.
Watch some how they try to go trace phone records of him talking to Thug. They fuck around, pull Thug back into a pull him into this Rico from the he got out the last fucking situation. Now they gonna pull him into a state Rico. I mean, a fat Rico. God damn.
What he said. Durk then seemingly references the murder of Quando's cousin Lil Pab, despite him actually not being involved in the death of Von, saying that when it's war, you don't see famous names being killed, but they still try and kill everyone around their targets. Durk then references the rumors that he was involved in the Pab murder, saying that he doesn't admit to crimes, but the blogs seem to accuse him as soon as people die, and saying that he would never admit to murder and is happy that other people are claiming that body, a line which I think refers to an alternative narrative that was spread around, suggesting that Lil Pab was actually killed by drug dealers that he ran off on. Of course, when the indictment dropped, it seemed pretty clear that that was cap. Durk would then go on to directly deny blackballing Quando Rondo from the record.
They cleared that. I said cleared. They hit that shit pretty good for a couple years. I ain't gonna lie. Nobody thought it was them until niggas started talking, and now in 2024, niggas locked the fuck up.
The street and casting doubt on his criminal past, before Durk says that he is the person who chooses if people live or get killed. He later appears to reference two details from the murder of Lil Pab, saying the switch is bound to kill their ops, Free McAdoo, a 600 member who committed numerous murders, and then saying the chilling and self-incriminating line, "We're flying to get you." Now perhaps this could be interpreted as saying that he would fly to collect Mac from jail if he was ever released, but to me, I think it's a different bar, where Durk is just mentioning one of his killers and then moving on to another line where he's self-incriminating himself, admitting that he will fly his shooters out to kill you, just like he did to Lil Pab. This is followed by another dark line, where Durk says, "You ain't know we were gonna get you, did you?" On the next track, Hanging with Wolves, Durk would make some interesting references to his life in this time. In one bar, he claims that he was out of town and heard a rumor that he was wanted for murder, pretty much speaking what ended up happening into existence. Durk went on to make references to Youngboy, whose original beef with King...
Bro, all his songs that I've been listening to lately, bro, all making sense now, and the shit like, he spoke his arrest into existence. The fat shit, this shit. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. That's why they say that shit powerful when you say something, bro. Watch what you say. Now, all that shit happening.
King Von kicked off this whole thing, with Quando actually being one of Youngboy's artists signed to his label, and Durk would refer to earlier comments suggesting that Youngboy had told the world that they were beefing and that he tried to squash the war. Then, at the end of his second verse, he drops another insane piece of foreshadowing, saying that he's the type of person to get on a flight with a warrant and that the police have got to catch him, something that he indeed tried to do. On a later track called For Real that features OTF member Booney Mo, he would reveal that he sells drugs to make money while his friends do the murders. In a later lyric, he outright says that his friends kill the ops and says that they get paid $10,000 to spin, and saying specifically that they get $20,000 if they kill one of the target's friends, and ending the song saying all his friends kill people for real if you play with them. A later track that featured Booker 600 and Lil Durk had a peculiar title, Feed 'em Addies. Now this title is a slick double entendre referring to giving their killers both Adderalls to focus on the murders that they've been tasked to do, and giving them the addresses or addies of their rivals to find them and kill them, something made explicit by the lyrics. And Booker goes on to rap that somebody's head got left on the wall for King Von. Then in Durk's verse, he would boast about having $50 million liquid, and going on to rap an eyebrow-raising bar saying that he smashed somebody's nose and that in his hood, he's Pablo. Likely a reference to Pablo Escobar, but knowing Durk's lyrical abilities, it wouldn't surprise me if this was another coded reference to Lil Pab, whose nickname was also Pablo. He then goes on to drop a series of bars that sound to me like they're directly referencing Lil Pab's murder, saying that he doesn't speak on murders or people trolling, and seemingly referencing Quando's relationship being signed to Youngboy's label, saying why you signed to the dudes that purged it. Then rapping the brutal lyric referring to the murder of Pab, and Quando's reaction being broadcast on the news, saying, when I seen he died, I kept scrolling, and admitting that he's into beef with someone's friend, another reference to Youngboy and Quando's relationship. The next track is seemingly another bold admission of the OTF crew's activities in the streets. The aptly titled track, We Did It. This is Booney Mo from OTF rapping back to back with a posthumous verse and ad-libs from none other than King Von, whose death sparked this deadly crime spree. The song featured a brazen chorus which saw Booney Mo rapping repeatedly, "They know that we did it," whilst backed up by King Von ad-libs. What did you guys do?
Bro, We Did It is a fucking crazy name for a song. You basically like, yo, your honor, yeah, we killed them, we did it, it was us. You don't need no evidence, it was us. Yeah, listen to that song. I'm telling you, if they can use fucking songs and lyrics, these niggas is all cooked. They gonna grab the rest of them niggas too. I'm telling you.
Do Booney. Booney would then repeat the line, this time following the line about having diamonds on his chain, saying that they know we winning, with that line about winning followed by another King Von ad-lib saying, they know. He goes on to rap, you know how we're spinning, and naming what guns they use, and saying if they catch an op, you know we're gonna get them. And he would end the hook saying that now they're smoking on their ops. In the verse, he mentions OTF DD or D-Ski locating ops for the gang and chasing ops in rental cars, which according to the indictment happened. And he would even end his verse with a buffet of self-incrimination, rapping that he pays his shorties to slide and that he bets they're going to get you. Following that up, saying OTF, that's mob ties, ain't nothing realer. The second verse was a posthumous King Von verse, where in the final line, as Von has done countless times before, admitting to murder, saying that he ducked that sentence, but they know I did it. Now, I'm sure people might argue that this is an ambiguous song which could be referring to absolutely anything, but to me, the fact that this project and song dropped just 4 months after the supposed murder that was Get Back for King Von, combining this song with the King Von ad-libs and the posthumous verse from Von, and repeatedly using the brazen line, you know that we did it, to me, makes me think that the very purpose of this song was indeed to covertly confirm to the whole world that OTF did indeed kill Pab for Von, so that they could brag about it. The next track would feature OTF DD, or D-Ski, which you'll likely know is one of the members who was central to the alleged murder for hire plot and is all over that indictment. And on the track Seen It All, DD would commence with another incredibly self-incriminating verse, rapping that his team do hits regardless, and rapping that they're going to risk it all and put their ops in coffins for their friends, rapping that they stalk their ops in traffic, something alleged in the indictment with photographic evidence, and saying that they leave their ops on stretchers. And in his verse, continuing the self-snitching, rapping that they bully their ops with switches and shoot the fastest, and rapping how they don't give their enemies passes, they walk them down or kill them. Even admitting that his friends stood on business or got vengeance, and he raps they're coming to get you, and that their bullets will leave you dead in public. And I don't know if it gets more public than outside the Beverly Center. But then on the next track, Ain't Hiding, OTF's Chief Wook would continue to rap bars that seem to hint at OTF's deadly activities in the streets, saying that their lil bros hop out of cars and chase people and give their ops facelifts. Next on the project is the song Savage Stuff, where OTF frontliner Doody Low would continue to openly tell the world about his gang's murders, saying that he's with the real killers who up the murder rate. A later track with the very ironic title Block is Hot would see Durk and DD going back and forth together on the same song, and Durk would start his verse with more jaw-dropping lyrics, rapping that his shorties hop out of cars, shoot people 4 times, and send them to the morgue. Durk Durk would then go on to snitch on himself to an alarming degree, rapping that he's got money on people's heads and that he tells his people to grab the cars and shoot them. He would then reference an apparent attempt by Quando Rondo calling for peace.
He said we need to talk, cause it's going too far. I can't even do shows. I gotta feed my peoples. He talking about stay safe. Come on, cuz you know me. I ain't fearing nobody, but we could do this shit to social media. So let's talk this out in person. No one else is us. Do a show you good for. I don't believe you, big bro. What you want? What your number? Call me. Like I said, cool, stay safe. He talking about fuck it then. I'm ready for it. Quando start crashing out. He talking about fuck it then. I'm ready for whatever. We can talk it ours, whatever, cuz I want to do this shit. Got me losing money.
In leaked DMs that circulated online, rapping that they were scared and wanted peace, but Durk rejected it. And Durk would go on to rap that if they can't catch who they want when they ride past, then they'll get his friend, likely another reference to Lil Pap. Durk would then go on to boast that he could be outside by himself, but no one would have a chance to get him, and that he rolls with OTF DD when it comes to the war on the block. And Durk ends his verse with haunting bars where he says that he's the reason that you got shot, and that his music is what you hear when you die. Then in verse 2, DD would jump on the mic and raps lyrics which, quite frankly, are a prosecutor's wet dream, rapping that he's a threat, warning his ops not to get caught lacking, or that he will leave you like the last person he caught. Then going on to rap how did his ops die, and answering,
I wonder do these niggas be in the studio thinking about what the fuck they saying? Like, yo, I'm drunk right now. Or they just be high as shit and like, fucking, I'm about to tell them myself. Cause there's no way these niggas be in there talking about, I shot this nigga, I did this, I did that, without thinking about the shit, bro. It don't make sense. These niggas is literally crashing out.
That the bullets ate his face and left him dead on arrival. DD would rap that knowing how to die is the only thing that his ops can beat them at. And at the end of the verse, in a line that will probably come back to haunt him, rapping that his friends face murders and beat the state charges. Unfortunately, with songs like this out, it's incredibly hard to imagine DD beating the state on these charges. Now, the following song would be titled Thug Life and features OTF veterans Chief Wook and Doody Low, along with some very interesting lyrics, with a line in the second verse that said, your cousin with you claiming he innocent, he's still getting shot, which sounds to me like it could be a direct reference to Lil Pab, who is indeed Quando's cousin, although at the time of the murder, many people reported that he was simply Quando's friend. The next track takes the irony to a whole new level, a song titled Federal Freestyle, featuring none other than OTF Jam, OTF's suspected resident informant. Now, there's nothing super incriminating in this song, but these lyrics and OTF Jam's backstory as the alleged informant is something I'll be breaking down in greater detail another time. But later on the project, Durk drops perhaps the single most incriminating song on the entire project, a track titled Threats to Everybody. Durk opens the song saying that by spending money, he can have new killers who you have never seen before come outside, rapping that he puts belts to his ops and that he has his killers shoot so much that their fingers hurt. He references both OTF Jam and OTF DD, saying that he bought them both the same gun. And then, in another absolutely incredible display of detailed self-snitching, Durk references shootings at gas stations, suggesting that his ops want to avoid stopping to refuel, and later saying that if he finds out his ops are outside, he wants his shooters to pull up on them curbside. This actually ended up being the song that included the bold lyric about leaving FBG Cash dead by the tree, and Durk would end the song saying that they should have killed him sooner. On the next track, titled Who Are You, Doody Low would reference King Von, saying that he has killers that will murder in exchange for a recorded rap verse, which could refer to Doody or Durk himself, which ironically matches up with the accusation in the indictment that OTF members were actually encouraged to kill in exchange for support in their rap careers. Before Doody goes on to say that they killed someone and put them in the dirt, and that dissing King Von will indeed get you killed. Now, a lot of people will argue that these lyrics don't prove anything, and that these could be generic references to the street life, but I do not buy it. People often argue that rap lyrics shouldn't be used as evidence in court, often citing Bob Marley's I Shot the Sheriff, but no sheriffs got murdered on camera, and the sheriff's deputy was not on the news screaming no. To me, this project was a bold declaration by Lil Durk and the wider OTF to take credit for these heinous and public crimes. This was the first project released since the murder of Lil Pab, the apparent revenge attack for Von's murder. How many times had Durk been baited in comments with people saying slide for Von? Well, it seemed that he'd finally done it, and OTF quite literally used this whole album, the songs and lyrics, to tell the world we did it. To me, Loyal Bros 2 might well go down as one of the most incriminating rap projects in music history, and it really just goes to show you just how inexplicably stupid some of these gangster rappers can be when it comes to admitting crimes in their music. I'm genuinely baffled as to why the people involved in this alleged crime, specifically Lil Durk and OTF DD, would be so reckless as to release a project with such specific details about these crimes that they allegedly really did. Lines about paying for hits, renting cars, flying shooters out, scrolling past the news about your murdered enemies being on the news, and quite literally saying we did it is mind-boggling. But this wasn't the end. In fact, it was only the beginning. And as time went on, Durk and the OTF crew would continue to self-incriminate and openly rap chilling details that would connect them to this crime. As I said at the start, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the insane depths of the self-incrimination that Durk and his OTF crew did. If you found this breakdown interesting and would like to know more, make sure that you subscribe to my main channel, Trap Lord Ross.
That was kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Niggas made a whole album incriminating themselves. That's wild, I ain't gonna lie. Every fucking song they said something incriminating. But We Did It, bro, that shit got it. A nigga's naming his song We Did It after a nigga got killed, bro. It's crazy, bro. Just ask me, so it was you who did it, huh? It was y'all. I'm like, nope, should play the song. Got his ass. That's bad, not gonna lie, bro. If they use lyrics, bro, they gonna pull up, they gonna play the whole album in the courtroom. Like, so what you talking about on this song, and this song, and this song? Especially Durk songs, he be drawn, I ain't gonna lie. But if they can't use lyrics, then I feel like they got a slight chance of beating this shit. His lawyer is him, Drew Fillin, he one of them ones. But hopefully, them niggas come home, man. Hopefully they beat this shit. Hopefully they didn't do it. Like the boys said they did it. Hopefully they didn't do it, man. But shit, let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. Let me know if I think this album gonna bring them niggas down. Like if it's gonna get them niggas locked up for a long time, or this shit don't mean nothing. New to the channel, leave a like, comment, subscribe, man. We on the road to 1K. Peace.